And on the topic of new pets, we are now entering a time known as kitten season. If you're interested in possibly adopting a kitten into your family, we have some important information for you.
Cats are often misunderstood, and there are many misconceptions about cat ownership. Many people may look to adopt a cat or kitten this spring or summer during kitten season, a time when kittens are most plentiful. Joining us today is Dr. Andy Eschner from Mariel to talk with us about key elements of cat and kitten care. Doctor, thank you so much for joining me this morning.
Well, thank you for having me, Heather.
Well, I see you have a friend there, so this is a perfect time to talk about cat and kitten care. And actually, what are some of the common misconceptions about cat ownership?
Well, some of the misconceptions, you've heard some of the wives' tales about 9 lives and whatnot, but more practically speaking, I think one of the biggest misconceptions is that cats are kind of plug and play. People might get a cat and then just maybe feel they just have to put food or water down and that's it. No real need for regular veterinary care or getting top-notch diets. It's really the opposite of that. Cats are high-performance machines, if you will. They're athletes, and they really need a lot of care, a lot of enrichment, and a lot of focus. And bringing them to the veterinarian for great counsel, great care, great prevention of disease discussions and vaccines, that's huge. So cats definitely need a lot of care. But another misconception is that people who keep cats indoors sometimes think that they don't need to continue with infectious disease control, particularly rabies. And ironically, a cat that stays indoors or predominantly indoors is still at risk for acquiring rabies, principally from any type of wildlife that might enter the household, and that tends to be a bat on occasion. So cats and rabies in the U.S., unfortunately, is fairly prevalent. In fact, cats outnumber dogs in the number of cases of rabies each year. And so we really got to do a better job collectively just getting more cats vaccinated for rabies. And we're just trying to convince owners that that's a real key need here.
Absolutely. Well, I'm glad that we're talking about this today because, as you said, it's a misconception that people don't think about feline rabies. So you are actually here to talk to us about a special vaccine that you're offering. So talk to us about that.
Yeah. So you know that rabies is, and if your clients don't know or your owners don't know, I mean, bad disease. It's a viral disease. No animal lives through it. But it's very preventable, and it's preventable through not only watching these critters and reducing the risk of mixing with wildlife, but also through vaccination. And Mariel has an excellent cat vaccine for rabies called Purevax feline rabies, which was designed specifically for the cat. It's actually tailor-made for the cat, not only for its unique technology, but for the fact that it doesn't have a particular ingredient that sometimes can cause problems in cats from the standpoint of injection site inflammation. So we've actually removed adjuvant, which is a fancy name for a chemical that is supposed to create some inflammation, but cats don't tend to like that so much, so we've done our best to get that out of there, and we've done that with Purevax feline rabies. To talk more about rabies in cats and the importance of vaccinating and even a little bit about Purevax rabies itself, Mariel has created a website, and I'll read it to you now if I could. It's www.purevaxpureprotection.com. And it's Mariel's attempt to educate and actually have an interactive game that allows owners to learn more about the disease and how to prevent it. And it's called feline prevention. So I would I was on it last night, and I'd really recommend that cat owners log on and take a look.
Absolutely. Well, I think this is great, and I love that this Purevax vaccination is really different than others out there. So before I let you go, Doctor, anything else you want to make sure cat owners know about this morning?
Typically, take good care of them. They are independent creatures that love their solitude, but they really need an owner that's actively engaged, brings them routinely to the veterinarian, and above all else, continues with their rabies vaccine through life. And Purevax feline rabies really fits that bill. It's perfect for cats.
Absolutely. Well, Doctor, we want to thank you so much for joining us this morning and giving us some great tips for cat owners.
Thank you for having me.
Now stay where you are. The Morning Blend will be back after this.